They think the story ends when you finally reach your dream. But for Lionel Messi, the real fight began in Barcelona. In La Masia, no one cared about his injections. No one had seen his tears in Rosario. Here, only one question mattered. Can you survive here? In a place where every kid is a genius with the ball. How does a shy, skinny boy from Argentina prove he belongs? This is not a story about reaching the dream. This is the story of staying there. On the edge of Barcelona, a small and simple brick building stood alone. It didn't look like a castle. It didn't look like the Stadium of Dreams. This was La Masia. Messi stepped out of the van, gripping his small suitcase as he stared at the windows where his hardest years were waiting for him. There was no red carpet, no cheering crowd, no cameras. Just a door he had to walk through. From the outside, La Masia looked like nothing special. A small building with plain walls and a quiet yard. But behind that simplicity, the dreams of hundreds of boys were built every day and broken every day. For his family, this wasn't just a registration. This was the moment they handed their child to a foreign city. They smiled so he wouldn't be afraid, but their eyes said something else. Once he walked through the door, he wouldn't just be their little boy anymore. He would become a product of an academy. The dorm room wasn't big. Two beds and just one wardrobe, empty walls and silence. The other boys laughed, shouted, spoke in languages he didn't fully understand. Messi sat on his bed, suitcase still closed, boots on the floor, and his eyes fixed on a ceiling that didn't smell like home. That night, for the first time, he understood something important. To reach your dream, you also have to sign a contract with loneliness. A thin metal bed, a half open suitcase, clothes that still carried the smell of Rosario. There were no posters of his heroes on the wall, no familiar voices in the hallway, just one boy, one room, and a dream that was finally getting serious. He opened a small notebook, picked up a pen. He wrote the first few words, then stopped. How do you tell your mother that you are scared, but you don't want to come back? That night, words were not enough, so he wrote just one simple line: I'm okay, don't worry about me.
Hey friends, welcome to my channel. If you made it this far, it probably means you're enjoying the video. So don't lose us. Please like, subscribe, and turn on the little golden bell.
Cheap boots, laces tight, knees scraped and stained with grass. On this page, no one asks your story. There is only one question: can you handle these or not? When the final whistle blew, everyone ran to the locker room, but Messi stayed. He picked up the ball, placed it near the touchline, and started again, running, dribbling, shooting. For everyone else, training was over. For him, the important part was just beginning. The pitch is empty, the sun is going down, and only one small player is still running. Sometimes you don't need the whole world to see you. You just need to refuse to see yourself giving up.
Bringing him here is not an easy decision.
If you don't believe in him,
Carlos
we'll just go
Rexach
back
had
home.
seen talent for many years, but this time, behind the talent he saw, there was a problem: the cost of treatment, the risk, and the doubts of the directors. Mrs. Father, voice tired but firm, said, if you don't want him, he will go back to Argentina. In that moment, either his European dream would end or someone had to take a risk. There was no official contract ready, no printed papers, no stamps, so Rexach picked up a napkin and started writing. A few simple lines on a piece of tissue. Barcelona's promise to Messi. Right there on that napkin, the future of world football quietly changed. His father read the words, took the pen, and signed. Messi sat beside them, silent. He didn't understand all the legal language, but he knew one thing. The signature meant one more thing: he needed most a chance to keep going. The stadium tunnel multiplies every sound: chants, drums, the echo of studs hitting the floor. Messi, in warm-up kit number 13, stood in line with the others. He looked up at the board and saw his name. He was going to come on a substitute. His heart was racing, but his feet were calm and ready. He stood at the touchline, eyes on the pitch. His hand brushed the Barcelona shirt, as if checking that this moment was real. The fourth official raised the substitution board. In a few seconds, he would stop being a spectator. The ball came to him, one touch, then a second, and suddenly the same magic that had appeared on the dusty fields of Rosario was now alive on Barcelona grass. A short dribble, a quick turn, and a clean pass. In the statistics, it was nothing special yet, but for him, everything started from those first touches. In a close-up, his face looks like a mix of child and captain. You can see fear and focus at the same time. The small boy from La Masia now had the right to stand on this giant stage. In the family's small Barcelona apartment, a letter lay on the table, paper full of legal words: residency, contracts, regulations. But the meaning was so simple. If things were not solved, he might have to go back. His parents spoke quietly, their voices full of anxiety. If the club couldn't formalize everything, if the documents were not ready in time, if the rules got in the way, they might have to return to Argentina. Messi sat and listened in silence. Nothing scared him more than leaving this place before he had a real chance to show who he could be. In the corner of the room, a half-packed suitcase
I didn't
waited.
come here to go
Clothes
back.
that might go back to Rosario, or might never leave this apartment again. Messi stood by the window, looking at the city lights, and one sentence echoed inside him: I didn't come
I'm
here to
staying.
go back. The city shone beneath him, but his future was hidden in fog. In the stadium he had just stepped into, his name wasn't on the fans' shirts yet. In the club offices, on the tables of the directors, his file was still incomplete. Between the dream of staying and the nightmare of being sent back, he had only one choice left: fight harder and just wait. And so, chapter 2 of Messi's story does not end with a trophy or a celebration. It ends with a very real fear that everything might be taken away before the legend even begins. In the next chapter, we will see how this fear became fuel pushing him into the greatest battles of his life.